Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the 9 p.m. news of the most prestigious channel in Sri Lanka. Bringing you stories from across the globe and stories here at home, I am Sonal Parnvithana.
And I'm Kenzo Farooq. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
The Prime Minister pays last respects to those killed in the Alla bus accident. The President reiterates that all development projects to be commenced this year should be concluded on time. It has been confirmed that raw materials found in Middenia contained chemicals used in the manufacturing of ice narcotics. Deputy Minister Sunil Vatagala says information on several politicians behind the narcotics supply network has been revealed. A person killed in a shooting in Grand Pass, shootings in several other locations. Commencement of Sri Lanka's largest solar power park begins. 4 female DIGs for the first time in police history. 500 Korean nationals have been arrested in the US.
In your top local story for tonight, bodies of those who were killed in the Alla bus accident were brought to Tangor Municipal Hall this morning to pay last respects.
Thereafter, they were brought to the residencies of the relevant victims.
Remains of the victims of the bus tragedy were brought to the respective residencies via the Vallavaya town to Thangalla last night. The bodies of all 15 persons killed in the accident were brought to the municipal council premises this morning. Twelve of the victims, including Secretary of the Thangalla Municipal Council, TWK Rupavahini, were employees of the Thangalla Municipal Council. All religious leaders, politicians and the general public in large numbers have arrived at the Thangalla Municipal Council Hall to pay their last respects to the deceased. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya arrived at the council this morning to pay her last respects. "17 passengers injured in the Alla bus accident are continuously undergoing treatment at the Badula Teaching Hospital and also at the hospitals in Bandarawala and Diyathalawa. A ceremony to invoke merit on behalf of the deceased had also taken place.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya said that over the past 2 days, everyone had been watching with sorrow, trying to understand how such a tragedy could be endured. She noted that an entire city, and indeed the whole country, was grieving with the families affected. She added that when one sees the pain of the children and their relatives, it becomes clear that this was not a natural disaster, but a preventable incident. The Prime Minister stressed that as citizens, people have a responsibility to stand for one another and to ensure that such tragedies do not occur in the future.
The bodies placed at the Thangalla Municipal Council Hall were brought to the residencies of the deceased this afternoon.
Following up, the ill-fated bus of the Ella tragedy was recovered with immense effort at dawn today. It was later brought to the Ella police station. 15 passengers had lost their lives when the bus went off the Ella main road and plunged into a precipice of around 1,000 feet. Rupavahini correspondent
केबल देखा डिपार्टमेंट किया
Rupavahini correspondent Viraj Fernando said that he was at the location where the bus named Sihina Mandakini went down the precipice near the 24th post in Ravana, Ella. The beautiful bus is now a pile of debris. It was salvaged with the joint effort of the private buses and the Ella police station after an operation between 1.5 to 2 hours. The place of the accident as well as the parts of the bus was subjected to the inspection of the officials of the National Transport Medical Institute. Special attention has been focused on measures to be taken to prevent future accidents of this future. Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the National Transport Medical Institute, Dr. Arosha Vidyabhushana, said that the Ministry had proposed short, medium and long-term programs in recent months. She explained that particular attention was being given to identifying the causes of accidents, especially in hilly areas, and to creating awareness among drivers and passengers about preventive measures. She added that the Ministry was also preparing the necessary regulations and would take further steps as a government to implement these measures effectively. Meanwhile, the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association had also convened a media briefing today. President of the association, Gamnu Vijayratna, said that the maximum cooperation will be extended to the government to minimize vehicle accidents. President of the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association, Gamnu Vijayratna, said that many buses had various types of electric bulbs and decorative lights installed at the front. He stated that he had already requested the police to remove such lights, but admitted that it was difficult to enforce. He pointed out when another vehicle looked at a bus with such lights, it appeared more like an illuminated arc than a normal bus.
President Anura Kumara Dissanayake says it is the responsibility of the government officials in the relevant districts to hand over the benefits to the general public during the scheduled periods by overcoming delays in the implementation of development projects on the district level. He has further pointed out that government officials should be in possession of a targeted plan upon commencement of a development project until the dates of its conclusion. The President made these remarks addressing the Monagala District Special Development Meeting at the Monagala District Secretariat today. The objective of the meeting was to evaluate the progress of development projects to be implemented in the Monagala District during the year and also to inquire future development needs. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake further said the government is ready to allocate funds for development projects for the benefits of the general public in every instance. He has added that in order to expedite the flow of funds of the treasury to the village, the rural development programs will have to be sped up. Attention has also been focused on this occasion on the problems of the farmers who had been deprived of farmlands due to marking boundaries on the Kabilita Protectorate in Kotiagala. The President has instructed the officials to implement a systematic methodology to resolve the problems pertaining to cultivated lands of the farmers. President Anura Kumara Dissanayake stated that funds would be allocated at any time for development projects essential to the people. He added that if there are projects costing less than 100 million rupees but vital to the public, money could be provided even this year. He also stressed that in order to ensure treasury funds reach villages, rural development projects must be expedited. Special attention was also given to the problem faced by farmers whose lost cultivation lands due to boundary demarcations of the Kotiagala Kabilita Reserve. The President instructed officials to establish a structured mechanism to resolve such land-related issues of farmers. Attention was also drawn to vacancies in various state institutions within the district. The President noted that approval has already been granted to recruit 62,000 new employees into the public service this year, and this number may vary to 100,000 depending on requirements. He instructed officials to ensure these vacancies are filled accordingly. The President further stated that the upcoming budget will also give priority to equipping Pradeshia Sabhas with necessary equipment and strengthening local government government institutions. He further stated that renewed attention should be given to major constructions undertaken by state institutions and that their actual necessity must be reviewed. The President instructed officials to identify long-delayed state construction projects, evaluate their need and propose alternatives where necessary. The President stated that approval has been granted to increase the limit on contracts that can be awarded to community-based organizations during the implementation of development projects with the objective of expediting rural development. The discussions also covered the absence of an urban council for Monagala, the establishment of a Pradeshia Sabha for the Savanagala Divisional Secretariat Division, and the provision of 5 acres of land each to 72 farmers who lost their lands due to the Siambalandur solar power project. The progress of granting lease deeds for the Buttala industrial zone was also reviewed, along with discussions on road and bridge development in the district and the construction of a residential treatment unit for thalassemia patients.
The Sri Lanka police says that it has been established that the inclusion of chemical substances for the production of ice narcotics in the stock of chemicals recovered from mid-Denia yesterday. The relevant chemical samples were subjected to an inspection at the Department of Government Analysts today. According to information reviewed by a group including organised criminal Kehel Badar Padme, 2 container loads of raw materials used in the manufacturing of ice narcotics were found in a land in Middenia Thalava Road in Hungama. Yesterday, the detection was made by the officials of the Western Northern Crime Division. The police special task force was engaged in unearthing the relevant raw material of 2 container loads buried underground. They were found in excavation conducted on 2 locations. Officials of the Department of Government Analysts were involved in the investigation of the chemical samples. Police media spokesperson SSP F.U. Woodruff said that the police has taken into custody at present a quantity of chemicals amounting to 42 kilograms, which are considered as an ingredient for the manufacturing of ice narcotic. It has been confirmed that they were obtained as 5 samples from the 2 container loads of raw material. Currently, ice narcotic or the methamphetamine is being smuggled into the island. The ASP further said the Sri Lanka police has thwarted the strong efforts to manufacture this drug within Sri Lanka. He further said one of the suspects of the land has been taken into custody and directed for further investigations to be conducted by the Northern Division of the Western Province. ASP Woodless also said a CID inquiry was also conducted regarding the 2 containers. He also said these 2 containers has no connection with the numbers of other containers connected to another investigation.
Deputy Minister Sunil Vatagala has disclosed several politicians who are believed to have been behind the narcotic supply network. He has made these remarks at a media briefing in Monagala today. Investigations pertaining to the supply chain are to be commenced from the beginning. Deputy Minister Sunil Vatagala said that it was a political authority of Diyavanava that were behind the business. The government has already taken a decision to end this political force, which nurtured the underground. Had the hidden chemicals were released, the disastrous situation that would have been created is unimaginable. Investigations are underway to find the culprits disregarding their ranks. The Deputy Minister further said when they are starting to commence investigations, some of the culprits are trying to go abroad under the guise of following postgraduate studies or due to health reasons. He added that however the investigations will be conducted openly.
A person was killed in a shooting near the Mahawata Clock Tower in Grand Pass last night. 2 unidentified gunmen on a motorcycle had opened fire at the victim before fleeing the scene. The injured person was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital where he later succumbed to his injuries. The police suspects a firearm of the revolver type was used in the killing of the 26-year-old resident of Kalania. The motive of the killing is yet to be established. The Grand Pass police have launched investigations to arrest the suspects. Meanwhile, two persons who came in a motorcycle had shot at a person in Panchikawatta, Maradana at dawn today. The victim was a 44-year-old resident of Panchikawatta who was admitted to the Colombo National Hospital. The reason for the shooting has not yet been revealed. The Maradana police is conducting investigations. Meanwhile, another shooting was reported at around 1:30 a.m. today in the Kuttidua area. Two individuals on a motorcycle had opened fire at a residence and then fled the scene. No injuries were reported and police suspect the incident may be linked to a financial dispute. Two unidentified persons who had stormed into a shop in Sandagalavatta in Alumbula, Panudra, had shot at the female owner of the shop and demanded cigarettes. The shooting was reported to have occurred when they were told that cigarettes were not available. The shop owner was not injured in the shooting. The police believe that the exact cause of the incident could be a fact related to drug racketeering.
In more local stories for tonight, construction on the Sebalandua Rividanavi Solar Power Park, which is Sri Lanka's largest renewable energy project, commenced this morning under the patronage of the President, Anura Kumara Dissanayake. As a key step towards achieving the target of fulfilling 70% of the country's electricity demand from renewable energy by 2030, while construction of the Sebalandua Rividanavi Solar Power Park has got underway. This massive project, which will add 100 megawatt of capacity to the national electricity grid, involves an investment of $140 million. The project has been built on a land area of approximately 500 acres in the Kotiagala Grama Niladhari division. Through this project, 219 gigawatt hours will be added to the national grid each year. Consequently, the country will be able to save foreign exchange worth 21 billion rupees annually, which would otherwise be spent on diesel imports for power generation. As the project also includes a 12 megawatt-hours battery storage facility, it is expected to provide strong support in maintaining stability within the national electricity system. In addition to the solar power park, a transmission system stretching 27 kilometers will be constructed to connect the generated electricity to the grid. Minister Kumara Jayakodi stated that this project marks a transformation in the country's energy sector. He further pointed out that initiative demonstrated the government's policy of encouraging and supporting investors in a practical manner, emphasizing that the project is being advanced with investor support and expertise in line with the government's policy on energy security. Minister Kumara Jayakodi stressed that the present government is one that provides its worth through action.
Foreign Employment Bureau says the income received by the country from migrant workers had increased substantially. Chairman of the Bureau, Oshala Wickramasinghe, says measures are underway to generate more overseas employment opportunities. Chairman, Foreign Employment Bureau, Oshala Wickramasinghe, said that last year remittances to Sri Lanka by the expatriate community amounted to around $6.5 billion. However, this year at present $4 billion of foreign remittances have been received. The total remittances are expected to increase $7 billion by the end of the year. Some European countries, including Romania and Lithuania, are remitting higher amounts. There is a definite sum which could be received by a job seeker from their overseas institution. The Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau will take legal action if the foreign institute attempts to stipulate a sum which is less than the required amount. Four women police officers are set to be appointed as Deputy Inspectors General of Police in Sri Lanka for the first time in the country's history.
Now, the appointments, effective from January 1st, 2025, were approved by the National Police Commission and granted approval by Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasurya. Accordingly, R.A. Darshika Kumari, who currently serves as the commanding officer of the Police Field Force Headquarters and is recognized as the first female officer, Padmini Veerasurya, is presently the acting DIG in charge of the Kalathura district. Senior Superintendent of Police S.A.R. Jayasundara has been appointed as the acting DIG of the Bureau for the Investigation of Abuse of Children and Women. E.G. N.D. Seniviratna has also been appointed as the DIG of Research and the Information Technology Range.
Official handing of the ultra-modern infectious wastage incinerator to the Trincomalee District Hospital by the Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa has taken place. A group including Japanese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Akio Isomata, has also attended the handing over ceremony. A sum of 503 million Japanese yen has been utilized in the project. Measures have been taken to set up similar infectious refuse management units in 14 more hospitals in parallel to this event. Accordingly, the latest infectious wastage incinerators have already been installed in the 2 teaching hospitals in Ratnapura and Kurunegala, 5 district hospitals in Abilipitiya, Avisavila, Hambantota, Mena and Kilinochi, and also in 6 base hospitals in Rikila Gaskada, Mahiyangania, Putala, Mirigama, Mathirigiri and Valikanda, as well as the district hospital of Nakulugamua. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that they have a responsibility to engage in the infectious wastage incineration process with a greater sense of management, guidance and the necessary technological direction. He has added that Japan had always remained as a friend of Sri Lanka. The minister has further pointed out that countries in the world became friends and foes at different eras due to numerous political situations. These countries tread on different power bases. Yet the friendship between Sri Lanka and Japan had always remained extremely strong despite whatever world political and war situations. Minister Dr. Jayatissa also said they are bound by the duties to utilize this assistance in the technological and aid to the maximum extent. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa was engaged in a special discussion with the members of the All Ceylon Midwives Association recently. Many professional problems confronted by the association were presented to the minister on the occasion. The minister has pledged to extend positive solutions to the problems and to provide maximum facilities to female employees engaged in field duties. A group including Deputy Minister Hansaka Vijay Muni and was also present at the discussion conducted at the Ministry of Health and Mass Media. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that in the future the work will be in the field. A centre will be set up to coordinate all activities within the field. Maximum facilities will be extended to those engaged in field activities. The minister has added that their intention is to create a proper teamwork among all those who are engaged in field activities.
Now we take a look at some development news. Reconstruction of the road leading to the plantation housing scheme of Kirkhills, Manikavatta from the Udupusallava main road in Uvaparanagama has commenced yesterday. A sum of 33.5 million rupees has been set aside for the development of the road, which remains in an extremely dilapidated condition under the Path to Renaissance program. Governor of the Uva province, Attorney at Law Kapila Jayasekara, has presided over the inauguration. The Thatta Kandi Community Hall Road in the 767 Grama Niladhari division in Kalavili Beruwala is being developed with a concrete structure. The work got underway yesterday under the leadership of Kalutara District Parliamentarian Chandima Hettiarachi.
Police Miru Sara 2025 program will be telecast over the national television at 9:30 today.
The program has been organized in parallel to the 159th anniversary celebrations of the Sri Lanka Police. The program produced by the national television on behalf of the Sri Lanka Police anniversary was attended by Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala, Secretary to the Ministry Ravi Seniviratna, IGP Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya and a group. The event had become an exceptional stage to display the aesthetic skills of police officials and their inborn talents. That's all the local news for now. We take a look at foreign news on the other side of this break.
Behind every policy directive was a human story. Behind every statistic, a life changed. This is how China turned the impossible into inevitable, transforming policy blueprints into the concrete reality of hope restored. Welcome to the story of how a nation rewrote the rules of what's possible in the fight against poverty. China's Changers. 13th September, 10 p.m. on Channel I.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your foreign news for tonight. Many of the car workers arrested in a huge US workplace immigration raid had violated their visitor visas, officials say.
The arrested workers were being held at a facility of Immigration and Customs Enforcement in the state of Georgia until the agency decides where to move them next. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, mostly known as ICE, said 475 people, mostly South Korean citizens, were found to be illegally working at a Hyundai battery plant in the state of Georgia on last Thursday. People on short-term or recreational visas are not authorized to work in the US, ICE said, adding that the raid was necessary to protect American jobs. South Korea, whose companies have promised to invest billions of dollars in key US industries in the coming years, partly to avoid tariffs, has sent diplomats to Georgia and called for its citizens' rights to be respected. The factory, which makes new electrical vehicles, had been touted by Georgia's Republican governor as the biggest economic development project in the state's history, employing 1,200 people.
In more foreign news, the United Kingdom's Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner resigned yesterday after an independent inquiry found that she had not met the fine ethical standards required for government ministers over a recent home purchase. Rayner, who admitted on Wednesday that she did not pay enough tax on her purchase of an apartment in Hove on England's south coast, earlier this summer said the report found that she acted in good faith but that she should have bought more specific tax advice. "I take full responsibility for this error," she said in the resignation letter to Prime Minister Keir Starmer. In the UK, levies are charged on property purchases with higher charges due to more expensive homes and secondary residence. Reports have suggested that Rayner saved £40,000 by not paying the appropriate levy, known as a stamp duty. In your sports news for tonight, Zimbabwe has been successful in winning the second T20 encounter of the current series between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe by 5 wickets today.
Both teams have now won one match each and in a tied position in the three-match series played in the Harare grounds in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe team, after winning the toss, has decided to field first. Accordingly, the Sri Lanka team came to bat first and were bowled out for 80 runs at the end of 17 overs and 4 deliveries. This score had entered the records as the second lowest score recorded by a Sri Lankan team in an international T20 tournament. It was also the lowest score recorded by Sri Lanka against the Zimbabwe team. Zimbabwe team, chasing a victory target of 81 runs, lost their second wicket when the score was at 20 runs. The team was able to emerge victorious with 5 wickets in hand at the end of 14 overs and 2 deliveries. The third and deciding match of the tournament is scheduled to be conducted tomorrow. And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us same time, same place tomorrow as well. Signing off, it's me Sonal alongside Kensa.